Hold on.
Hey. Man, I had everything like lined up. The music ended, like the song ended just in time. And I had everybody's names organized and shit. And it was perfect. It was a perfect transition, y'all. I'm proud of that shit.
Molto bene. Well done.
90 episodes in and we finally got it right.
Hey, man, we got it right eventually, man. We got it right eventually. Hey, Dodongo, what's up, man? Dodongo, we met him at Twitch STO. Thanks for watching, homie.
Nice.
We are live. It is Wednesday, October 30th. October's almost over. And I feel like I went to Scotland a few weeks ago. Like this year's kind of moved past me. Moved past me pretty quickly.
Comic-Con feels like last month.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
My baby's about to be 4 months old.
Fuck, man. Exactly. This shit just fucking... This whole year took off on us. How's everybody's week been?
Bye.
How's everybody's last 7 days been? Before Ben... Yep.
Oh. Our last 7 days, let me think.
Yeah.
Saturday.
I have to edit because Ben will get specific. Or particular.
Well, starting Monday.
He'll get particulate, like poop. Sorry, go on.
What? What? I don't know. Last week was a week, whatever. No school, so that was nice. Saturday was the day from now. I want to say day from hell because it went really well. But I had 2 signings and the Twitch.
Busyness was hell.
Yeah, it was. I wasn't home for like 14 hours or some shit. So
yeah, that's a day. That's a day.
I do regret my costume choice because it wasn't overly obvious what I was, so that sucks.
I once went as a Division agent on an off year. Like Division was not out that year, and everyone was like, "Who are you?" And I'm like, "I'm from a game." So I feel you.
And then somebody's like, "You should have been Aang from Avatar." I'm like, "Well, that would have been perfect."
Yep. Next year, you can be old Aang. It's
old Aang. I didn't see what kind of costume that would be.
It's red robes, homie. He wore red airbender robes and had a beard. Like you could do it perfectly.
Who else said that they think that you were? You said from some.
Oh, it's pretty different. It's I would just have to get some Shaolin shit. That would be amazing. I'd want to own that anyway.
There you go. What, Brian? What were you asking?
He said that people kept asking him if he was from some TV show. I don't remember what it was called though.
Asking if you were a Naruto character. Or something.
Oh no! Somebody asked if I was a handmaiden from Handmaiden.
Oh man, that's not
like,
as fun as what I thought you'd say.
Right.
I was like, no, that's very strange, and no, I am not.
That's me.
I can't imagine a dude playing a handmaiden. That'd be interesting. Ryan, how's your week been, man?
Well, hold me down and call me a handmaid.
Don't. Oh.
Oh God.
I'm gonna edit that out.
This weekend was pretty good. Spent the whole weekend with you guys. That was fun. We played some games and went to Twitch STL, which was a pretty good time.
Sorry I ghosted you Saturday night. I was so fucking tired. Like, we got home at 3, and on the way home, Ryan was like, "Do you work tomorrow?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "When?" I was like, 10. He was like, "Oh, shit." We got home, and I just, like, walked to I went to the bathroom and didn't even, like, button up or re-zip. I just walked out and was like, "Night, dude." And he was like, "Oh, bye." I just walked up the stairs. I was just gone. I was like, "Nope, sorry. I can't. I'm not hanging out. I gotta go."
Yeah. We stayed at Tech till 3:30.
So watch John Wick.
We ended up watching John Wick. Yeah,
Really? Wow.
I had never seen it, and they're like, "Yeah, let's watch it." I was like, "Oh, it's so good." Yeah. So the weekend was good. Monday I was knee deep in sewage, which was fun. So not the best start to the week. After
Ben's eyebrows went up like he was
I don't know where
excited.
you're going with that one.
No, like literally.
Knee deep in that poo.
Apparently we hit a.
Sorry, this isn't shit show. I gotta watch out.
Yeah. Be
It is
careful.
right
Be
now.
careful. We are talking
my
about.
Monday was a shit.
There you go.
shit
Yep, there it is.
Yeah. apparently we hit a sewage line about 3 months ago on a job, and my boss realized it but didn't think it was a sewage line, so we covered it up. And then it's been raining and it's been backed up, so 4 feet down of poo dirt. So it was great, and it was like a
Dupe.
fucking 10 foot in diameter hole we had to dig by hand. So
By hand or with shovels?
well, with shovels.
Okay, there's a difference.
But most people get like an excavator, like a small excavator to dig it up, so yeah. But other than that, been good.
With my
Been playing some
bare
games.
hands.
Yep.
An excremator. An excrement excavate. Okay.
Almighty Zing, what's up?
What's up, Zing? How's it going? Yeah, so like my week's been interesting. I have some news for you guys.
Oh, boy.
So
She's pregnant?
no.
Oh. I like to ruin people's news, because if that was it, be like, yeah, that's it.
Well, yes, no. By the way, thank you Dodongo and Zing for follows. You guys have both done that since we've gone live. You guys are the real MVPs. Yeah, so I've been like real cagey, not cagey, but like close to the vest about some stuff that's going on in my life with y'all that listen to the podcast. I was in the middle of some job processes and all sorts of things. And like those things have all passed, so I want to talk about them real quick. Most of them kind of came to a wrap up in the last week anyway. So I was in the interview process for
I have to interrupt.
Huh?
I have to interrupt
Okay.
because you missed an opportunity with Ryan's poop joke story. You should have said, speaking of things that have passed.
Yep. All right. That's good. That's good. I missed an opportunity there. Yeah. So I was in the interview process for a studio in Seattle called V1 Interactive. They're making a game called Disintegration for community manager. I did not get that. Don't worry. I'm not announcing that I'm moving to Seattle. They offered it to somebody else, which is totally fine. Still super excited to see what that studio comes out with. I'm in the process of making some syllabuses for class at a school in the city I
Nice.
go to. I won't give all that information out yet because that hasn't happened completely. But the one thing that has come to light,
Do we know if it's tenured or adjunct?
don't
Or
know.
just-
It was
or just
brought up that a
temporary?
tenured track position is available, so
Yeah. Neato.
Nice.
wouldn't bring
Yeah,
that up
that's
without it being a possibility, I guess. The one thing that is for sure, and it's a two-parter, I no longer work at Apple.
Twofer.
So that's cool. And I am now the assistant manager of the highest volume GameStop in my city. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Very
That's starting next week, 10 days ish.
Nice.
So,
And you know what to do?
yeah. No, I've been doing that stuff. I've been working with GameStop since like 2013.
Right.
So in like directly involved or indirectly involved in doing managerial planning, marketing, receiving and sending shipments for 4 years at least. So
Yeah. Is this store going to be one of the new designs when that happens?
when that happens, it is the highest volume store in the region, so we would be
So,
first.
Neat.
We would be
Very cool.
first. Yeah, so that's super cool. That happened on Monday.
Is that going to be a nice, livable sort of?
Well, yeah.
weight?
It's a bump. It's a bump.
Okay.
It's a bump, and it's 40 hours a week, and it's consistent, and yeah. So like that irons out a lot of stuff. So that's dope.
Proud of you, dude. That's
Thanks,
awesome.
man. Thanks. Yeah, I went to Apple today and was like, so a thing happened, and I know I still have like shadow shifts, but like, why would you spend resources having someone shadow me if I'm leaving? So I'm going. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's afforded me some free time to get the Twitch STL videos finished up and all those things, and then get some other stuff done before I get into full swing with that. So the next week will be hopefully stream and content heavy as I get some stuff put together and put out. But yeah, so
Awesome.
yeah, the beans are cool. But we found out how everybody's week has been, so let's get into it. If you guys don't know, if you're here and you don't know what you're doing, this is Bounty Board, Nerdy Bits flagship podcast that airs every week on Wednesdays most of the time. Sometimes we delay. We're not perfect people. But with me, as always, are my co-hosts, Sketch Sawyer on the far left, Sergeant Sodium in the middle. There it is. And I am Lubwub. And before we get into our Bounties episode for the month of October, which is when we talk about all the things that we've played and the things we're excited about playing next month, we're going to do some news. And I threw a bunch of news in here, and I have a structure for them for the things that can go quickly. So we'll start with the quick stuff. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order got a new trailer, got a launch trailer. Did you guys watch that?
Yes.
It's mucho good.
Why does the main Jedi look like a redheaded Sid from Toy Story?
I'd never thought of him like that, but like that's a thing. Yeah, it's the kid from Ben. You watched Shameless, right?
No, actually.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You know of Gotham. I know nobody watches it. He's the kid who played Joker in Gotham.
Okay.
Yeah. Monahan. I can't think of his first name.
Oh, that big guy that starts off the trailer with the two tusks coming out of his chin.
Yeah.
Was in the Jedi Outcast series. He was a boss fight.
Oh, damn. I didn't know he was a callback.
He has an extra size lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like it's a
It's
fucking giant
huge.
lightsaber, and then he had to actually fight his little sidekick with him in Jedi Outcast. So he had to fight two Jedi. But
Yeah. Yeah, that looks dope. I'm excited about that game.
Says Esquire says known for their game commentary, known for excellent lightsaber combat. So we'll see.
Yeah, I've heard.
It better have some kind of For Honor feel to it.
Yeah, I've heard.
I feel it needs
only
it.
good things.
You would really want that?
I think so. Like different stances,
High, medium,
different-
low, all that stuff.
Yeah, maybe something a little more fluid.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I think it needs more of like change stance and.
That would be neat. Yeah, like
Yeah.
say you've got face button combos, but you like flick the stick either
Talk slowly. Talk
upright
slowly.
or either upright or down to like change your stance, so you can like do that mid combo or something. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
I've heard it's like a mix of Dark Souls and Force Unleashed, where like enemies have patterns you can learn.
Definitely got a
and-
big Force Unleashed vibe, of course.
Yeah.
I don't-
How
Dark
could you
Souls-
not?
I
Right,
feel,
Dark
I feel
Souls is
like we
sort of
don't
that.
have enough games that are like sword combat, but it should have a
Probably
like
a reason
Street
for that.
it should be like a Street Fighter combo kind of thing. Like if you break through somebody's like defense, like you should be able to hit him like maybe not 100 times like in Street Fighter, but like you should at least be
Right.
able to get a 5 or 6 hit combo before you step back and reset.
Yeah, well, from what I've seen, it's very much that. Like, if you are able to counter something or break someone's block, then like it's way more lethal than Street Fighter. Like, if you break a block or you counter someone perfectly, like you kill them. You then do a finisher move, and that's
Right.
it. Because it's a lightsaber. You don't really. Oh, you cut me. There's no flesh wounds with lightsabers.
You cut me,
You're just
good.
down. It is a Metroidvania style game, which I know a lot of people are asking about. Like there, you get your own ship, you get your own crew, and you can fly to planets in any order that you like. And you have a map that's intelligent and will keep track of places you can't go because you don't have abilities unlocked, so that you can go back to them once you have those abilities unlocked. So it's super exciting. Like the E3 showing of that game was very. And then like when people actually got hands on
Every
with it,
time
they've
they
all been
show up,
like,
it
oh.
gets better. Sort
Yeah.
of like the Avengers game.
Yeah,
Every time they
yeah.
show up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Avengers had a reveal today too.
What's up?
Avengers had a gameplay reveal today too.
They did, and it looked.
Every time it looks better.
It keeps looking better. Yeah. In the Star Wars vein, there was a new Mandalorian trailer. For those of you who are trying to stay spoiler free, we will do our best to stay spoiler free here. There's not much shown in the trailer. Ben described it as more of what I saw before, and it's good. There is a pretty well known comedian in the movie.
Yeah, that was
Or in the
pretty
show.
shocking.
Yeah, I was
why
like,
this
wait, is
even
that
happen?
who? What the? Yeah. So that's interesting. But it's one of those things where people. The more Star Wars gets like broad, I guess you could say as a description. The more popular acclaim it gets, and the more wide the audience gets, I think the more people you'll see want to be a part of it. Like Daniel Craig was in Force Awakens. He was a stormtrooper voice.
Right.
Or he was the stormtrooper. He was actually in the armor. Whatever. So that'll be cool. Also in the trailer reel, without getting too into details, the launch trailer for Death Stranding came out today. And guys, the launch trailer's 8 minutes long.
Of course it is.
But it's very good.
I
It's
hope-
very good.
Yeah, it's a game you're gonna have to pack a lunch for, because it's not going to let you get up for a while.
I don't know what the beef is with that. I love games that have good
long
cutscenes. Yeah, like people are like, I don't want to play a movie, but like, it fucking. If I get to play a game and it's got cutscenes that are as good as a movie and I'm entertained, fuck yeah, I don't give a shit.
I think
Call of Duty has moments where it is photorealistic. We'll get to that more later.
It sure does. But I think I think the length of the Call of Duty ones or Modern Warfare ones are kind of perfect. Like it's just there to punctuate in between missions, not I don't know. I don't know. Like I most people look at old Metal Gear cutscenes with disdain because they're overboard. They're too long and they're melodramatic and it's just like, it's just a cutscene and it's extreme and it's annoying and I think it's a symbol of a bygone era. I don't think video games do that anymore for a reason. But Kojima is like, no, I'm going to keep doing it because that's one of my, identifiers.
Yeah,
It's my
that's his
call
jam.
sign.
That's his thing.
And I also am, I feel very tenuous about him boasting about his absolute control over his franchise. Like, did you see that tweet he said, where like it's a Kojima game? Well, I used to say Hideo
Kojima.
Ko-
Hideo Kojima.
I used to say Hideo Kojima. Now I want to say Hideo Kojima. Anyway, so it's just like every major department he put his name on, right? So,
But have you seen the translations to that tweet?
just said it. Yeah, something about it.
Because there was someone that like natively
Right.
speaks Japanese, and they were
Yeah.
like, "This is what he meant,
Yeah,
and this is the literal translation."
right.
And like, when I first read it, I was like, "Oof, ego much." But like when I
Sure.
read the translations, I was like, "Oh, he's saying that like I want to be involved in all of these different facets because it's got my name on it, but not like I'm the only one that does the work."
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. And I don't want to go too long on this. We've talked about this a lot over the years,
What? No.
but like I don't know. I'm as I said before, I'm cautiously pessimistic. I'll allow myself to be surprised, but I don't want to sit through a 45-minute cutscene. I just don't have that kind of life right now. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
I have about 2 hours to play. I don't want most of that to be not playing.
If I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. If I want to play a game, I'm gonna play a game.
I mean, that's the old grumpy argument, but I'm going to agree with that right now. I'm going to jump into Battlefield, which
I
takes
also
5
hate
minutes.
single player games, so. I can say
Yeah. Don't listen to that. Don't listen to
No,
Ryan.
but like, just to agree with them in this one aspect, I load up Battlefield, which takes 10 minutes to load anyway. I play for 2 hours and then I stop. You know, so if an hour of that is not playing, I guess it's cool because I'm absorbing somebody else's story. It's all creative, it's cool, and all that stuff. But
Yeah. Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I just a lot of people are gonna eat that up. People that have 3,000 hours into Warframe and that's all they do and people that are like prestiged Modern Warfare. The weekend it came out. Those kind of people, they're all about it, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep. I agree to disagree. That's a paradox. Sorry, I read something out of the chat, and that's not good audio.
Not sure
Also,
if they're talking about Avengers or not.
they are talking about Avengers. There was another trailer that came out recently, and I lost track of what it was.
I do want to. Okay, I do want to talk with chat and alert our listeners to what they're talking about.
Yeah, so read the line in
We're
chat.
watching the new Marvel Avengers combat. All the systems breakdown. There's very much a Spider-Man skill tree, but then there's also gear with power levels a la Anthem. So it looks like you're going to be coming across a loot system where you find hundreds of the same thing with varying gear power levels. So you're going to be constantly upgrading your gear just to go up one power rating at a time. That's immediately repulsive to me. I hate that aspect of the loot game in late 2019.
Yeah, Breakpoint's pretty guilty of that. I'll get into that more when we start talking about our bounties for the last month. Loot's interesting. Like Destiny, we complained a lot about getting the same shit, but it still was different enough that I didn't realize it until a couple of years in. Anthem was like, here's the same gun, level 12. So yeah,
maybe
it's interesting.
I'm having this thought for the first time. If Destiny let you melt down all that stuff for a reusable resource that you'd want to spend,
Sure.
to get the things you want. Maybe that's cool, right? Like you could, like blueprints. You could get a blueprint for a gun that's hard to get, and with enough scrap, you can build it. But it's all chance. So
Yeah.
yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
Division
So
did it.
for sure. Oh God, knocking stuff over. All right. So for this next one, it's a little bit of a longer read, but shouldn't be too much longer. EA had a conference call for investors and analysts this week, and they teased a bunch of stuff coming in fiscal year 2022 and projects they're working on for fiscal year 2021. And they are very interesting. So just to kind of round it out, this is from Giuseppe Neva from Twinfinite. Let's see. Andrew Wilson, who's the CEO of EA, said that next year will bring a full slate of new EA Sports experiences with new titles that will be added to the EA Sports portfolio. If they give me a fucking baseball game I can play on Xbox, I will shit. The MVP series that EA made for baseball was very good. More sports stuff, NBA Live, yada yada.
I heard they're taking a year off at NBA Live.
Yeah, NBA Live is not coming out. Didn't come out this year, and it's not coming out
us,
next year.
They're
They're like,
but they're putting the pause on NBA.
yeah. Which is fine. The last NBA was like, bad, real bad. Apex is being expanded to deliver content plans for fiscal year 2021. It was also mentioned that, where's the other Apex drop that they say? Apex will launch on new platforms, geographies, and on mobile. So is Apex not on PC?
It is.
Twitch, so I don't know what new
or
platforms
Switch?
could be. Oh, Apex on Switch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Ryan,
Cool.
you're muted. And then mobile, of course, would be great because mobile is awesome. I wonder if EA is able to do NCAA sports again because maybe they've figured out the.
Oh, Dodongo says next gen. Maybe they, as of this time next year, we're all going to be making next gen announcements. So yeah.
Right. A bunch of these are probably going to be next gen. They've also got the Command & Conquer remaster that's coming, and then there are projects in the works. There's a new IP in the works at Motive, which I think is the studio that makes their like physics engine for their sports games. New IP there, and then new projects at DICE, BioWare, Maxis, and Criterion. Criterion is their racing division. Maxis is
Sims.
BioWare is we're getting Mass Effect and Dragon Age in development over there, and then DICE is working on a new Battlefield game.
We know Dragon Age is just around the corner, right?
Huh?
We know Dragon Age is next.
Dragon Age is next. I don't think it's just around the corner. I don't think we're getting it until 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, they had to like start over, which is probably because EA finally realized they should stop jamming the Frostbite engine down everybody's throats and letting them like figure their own shit out.
Right.
Who knows? EA's a confusing and complicated beast to try and predict.
It also says that they're trying to bring out new content for Battlefield 5.
Mm-hmm.
Since they're going to push the next Battlefield game until fiscal year 2022, which is April of 21 through March of 2022.
Yeah. What do you think? Where do you think Battlefield's probably just going to keep going Pacific? So maybe they're going to go mainland Japan or mainland China.
Well, so they'll do. I think they'll push Pacific for the next few months, and then I think they'll push into Russia.
Interesting.
They'll either push into Russia or they're pushing to Northern Africa and Italy. And Greece.
Well, I feel like we're kind of there already.
So,
Plus,
I mean, they're wanting to push so long. I mean, I know the new system doesn't come out until
I think they need to push into
the end
China
of next year. But
was much of the
wait
war
till
fought
the
in
game.
China, or was that just Japan being a bunch of assholes?
I don't know, but China lost like 10 million people. So
Yeah.
there's a fight there. Even if they want to extrapolate it and make some fictional like, and probably not too much of a stretch, but some Chinese resistance. You know, China had an army for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We can bolster that for the sake of gameplay.
Yeah. For the sake of talking about Battlefield, we definitely have Pacific's launch today, right? It's launching tonight.
No, I thought it did. It's so for our time zone, it's going to be about 5 a.m.
Okay. But we got the launch trailer for the Pacific expansion, and it's so very good.
It's so very good.
It's so very good.
Yeah,
They put together really good trailers.
They do. Dice is good at that. But it's one of my favorite songs, which is "The Devil's Tattoo" by Black Rebel Motorcycle Club. And Yeah, and then it turns into like the symphonic version when it goes half tempo, when it goes super dramatic. Yeah, man, that's a great ass trailer.
Yeah.
I wish I could play tonight, but I'll have to wait till tomorrow, I guess. But
Sure, sure.
I'm pretty excited.
So I want to read
And
this. I want to read this one quote from Wilson about specifically Battlefield, talking about uh, the next Battlefield coming up. He said that, and this is him quoted: "It will be driven around live services, as it is the nature of our industry now. It'll be cutting edge. It'll be high fidelity. It'll be doing things in the context of multiplayer and social play and competition that the Battlefields at this point have not done. And I do believe it'll be a really exciting title for fiscal year 22."
what do you think he means? What do you think Battlefield hasn't done?
Just in the context, it'll be doing things in the context of multiplayer and social play and competition that Battlefield has not done.
What is
So, cross-platform is on the table for that. Social
Sure.
play, so Commander from the phone has already been done. So maybe something even more involved.
Something more social, huh?
Yeah,
Strange.
more social competition. Maybe setting up like actual tournaments built into the game, like Rocket League, so you can get into,
Seasons.
seasons.
Right.
Sure, maybe. Yeah, I don't know, because the rumor right now is the next Battlefield is Bad Company 3, and Bad Company 3 also has a campaign with 4 characters in it, so it could be a co-op campaign. It could mix campaign with multiplayer like they tried to do with Titanfall the first time, and they maybe have figured out a way to make that more reliable. I don't know. Who knows? We won't find out more until next year, but I'm hoping that we start seeing things at E3, because next year's E3 is going to be massive. All right, a couple more things, and then we should be through news. Real quick, if you
Hang on
haven't...
just a second.
Oh, what's up?
One
My
of
bad.
those things in the article, it says first of all there are no more like opportunities with Battlefield 5, and the team is still thinking of new ways to drive that live service. But then they say secondly, EA believes it already has what is basically an annualized shooter with Apex. So I don't like that they're like, well, we already have Apex, so why do we need to make a new Battlefield? Because the thing is, the new Battlefield is going to be modern day, more than likely. So what's the point in not, or like, why can't they do more with Battlefield 5 and then still roll out a new Battlefield? I don't see the point in waiting like 2 more years. I mean, I know you got to wait till next console. Like, that makes sense.
We wait a long time between Battlefields.
This one's like, what, 5 years?
No, it'll be 2. We got Battlefield 5 in October last year.
No, Battlefield 4, like a modern day is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a long
Like,
time between that.
we're waiting like 6 years or something like that in between
Yeah,
the
but
modern day Battlefield.
that's a weird metric. Nobody's counting like between like eras. You know,
I mean,
people-
Call of Duty players kind of were.
But they went
got- they
Battlefield 4, Battlefield 1, then 5,
Yeah.
and those two were back to back the same. Like,
Yeah.
you can't tell me that brought in more people to play that game compared to.
No, but I'm also on
modern
the
day.
side. I'm also on their side when it comes to like rethinking Battlefield and taking the time to do it right and better. Like, the biggest problem I have with annualized games is they're not really improvements the next year. They're just kind
No, I
of
don't-
small
I don't want
changes.
that.
And that's why Modern Warfare, I think, is so crazy, because like Infinity Ward hasn't made a Call of Duty game in like 4 years, and they took their time doing it. So like, I'm all about waiting on Battlefield and letting them get some stuff done. Battlefield 5 is a great game, and it's in the EA Access vault now.
That's
So
great. I wanted to play it tonight. I might still, but like, imagine if it goes live service like Blizzard, and this is the last new Battlefield release for like 5 to 10 years, and they just keep
Boo.
updating it.
that's
Imagine them imagine them updating it instead of releasing a new title every 3 years.
I mean, it would be super interesting. I'm like Warframe.
Live service is the shape of the industry right now. Right?
World of Warcraft has kept people around for like 15 years, 20 years, and like
Right.
every 8 months, every 6 months, they put out a big like expansion. And I think that's where sports games need to go already. And like seeing that they're talking about doing this with first-person shooters, which have largely become season-based games. Like, I'd say what you will, but like every year there's a new Call of Duty. That's just Call of Duty season 10, season 11. See, like you're not changing enough.
I don't know. Black Ops started to feel sameish, but then they all started wearing like, armor and
Yeah,
going on walls and stuff. So
people hated that.
it changed quite a bit. I think every Call of Duty iteration was different enough, and then there was the difference between Call of Duty and Black Ops and all that stuff. But I don't know. I think if I mean, Overwatch is what, the third year, right?
Yeah. This is almost the end of their
Yeah.
16 to
And
17.
there rumors are out there that they might announce a sequel, which I think would be a mistake, because that's not Blizzard's model, at least.
Sure. Well, it was for a while. StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2. That's all I
Yeah.
got. That's all I got. It sounds like based on what Wilson said here, that like they're planning on launching Battlefield in fiscal year 2020, which means we could get it.
No, that wasn't right.
We believe that in combination with the first two things I talked about, and launching Battlefield in fiscal year 2020 is a really strong move for us and presents us with an opportunity for strong cohesive
fiscal year 2022, but right.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a weird. Yeah, it's
he
weird
says
based
2020,
off
and then he
everything
says that
else.
it'll be an exciting title in 2022. Like maybe it's saying that the next game they launch will be still played for 2 more years. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out more.
How disappointed would you guys be if it was Vietnam?
I haven't played there, but also like,
They had Vietnam and Bad Company too.
yeah, it was just an expansion of maps though. I'd play like a campaign there, and I'd have I don't know. Like I'm not attached
It's like
to
M16s and stuff. Like it's pretty close to modern day. I think they had night vision, but they didn't have thermal or whatever. But like
Modern Warfare.
no, I don't think they had night vision.
Modern Warfare is scratching my itch too much for like attachments and stuff.
Our favorite war.
Vietnam's also one of the most hotly contested wars that we've been in. I mean, we're in one now that
You know what though? That's one of the few moments in American history where everybody's just accepted that L.
just take the loss.
Everybody's like, "Yep, it sucked. Nobody liked being there. Rest in peace." And MIA and all that stuff. But I think most people kind of agree that Vietnam was just a shit show. It's not, it's not. So it's pretty uncontentious. So if we had a game that wanted to get political, I think they might be okay, because everybody knows it was a fucking disaster.
I don't even know if that's a political statement at this point. Like it was just bad. Everybody knows it was just bad.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of common knowledge.
Yeah. Okay, so everybody who pays attention to games has probably heard that Last of Us Part 2 got delayed from February to May.
Good.
They basically delayed it to June. It's
Good.
from February 22nd to May 29th, which the Last of Us, I believe, came out in May. They can kind of dominate the spring-summer window. That's fine. I want to be able to play that game with nothing else around it.
Yeah, that's one less thing I have to play, and I'm totally fine with that.
Yeah, and Ubisoft also had announcements about most of their games planned for early 2020 being moved. So like Watch Dogs, that roller derby game, rollerball game.
Oh yeah, that looks fun.
Yeah, that
I need
game.
to know more, but it looks great.
Yeah, that game, Watch Dogs, and a couple others have been pushed back a little bit for more work, which is totally fine. I'm totally fine with that. And then let's see, what else do we got? Ninja Theory, the people who made Senua Hell Sacrifice, Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice. Sorry, I butchered that the first time. Say that they are committed to continuing to develop games that address mental illness, which is very cool. I'm excited to see what else they do. And
I think it's just a new title that is going to be as focused as the last one. You know what I mean?
yeah, well, they've made a statement that they
Fascinating.
want to keep making games that address that. Because that's close to the team, which is super cool. And, not many games do that. And then the last thing that we can talk about, which we don't have to talk about for terribly long, but yesterday, Xbox streaming started. The Project xCloud beta for people that have Android phones started yesterday.
Wow.
And people that the person
I know that.
the person from IGN that has had this for a while, that was written by Adam Bankhurst, said that like it works really well when like traveling. Like he was playing on his phone on a train that was moving, and like it was fine.
Do you have Wi-Fi on that train?
Probably.
No, he was using
No. Wow.
Xbox console streaming needs at least 4.75 megabits per second upstream bandwidth with 9 megabits preferred. Those users that.
Does that fire up your Xbox at home?
Well, I mean, not yet, but it will when the next Xbox comes
That's
out.
the plan.
Yep. When the next Xbox comes out, your Xbox will become its own private server blade.
That's within 4G speeds, Zing says. That's interesting. What what was he playing? Do you know?
He said that he was playing Halo and Forza and big titles.
Man, I'm gonna probably try that soonish. I need that controller attachment because I don't want to touch my screen. But
So weird.
I hate it. But
Here's a screen made for touch. I don't want to touch it.
I hate touching glass to play my games, man. There's some games where it's like made for it, but if I have to like slide my thumb around to act like an analog, but get out. Yeah, it's so gross. But like, it just doesn't feel right. I just need like that input lag has to be awful.
Or not.
I just don't.
He said he didn't see any input lag.
That's.
I don't get the science behind it either, but there's science there.
See it to
That's what
believe.
fucks me up.
Oh my god! Ryan and I came up with a podcast that we're gonna do at some point called.
Don't.
No,
We
don't
need to
talk
put
about it.
all out. No.
All right, never mind. We're not gonna talk about it. This is gonna be.
They don't trust any of it.
They don't trust.
They don't
any
trust
of it.
anybody.
0 input lag. So does that mean Zing says Stadia claimed they have negative input lag? Wait, negative? That means it happens before you push the button.
It knows what's happening.
Punch, and it was like, "Huh."
How did it know? But does that mean it's loading part of the game onto your screen on your system?
Yeah, probably.
That's wild, man. That's wild. I don't get it, but you know, I'm an artist, so pretty dumb.
Okay.
I've been at school for a long time. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. All right, so that's gonna wrap it up for news. We did that for about 30 minutes. So the next section is our main section. For those of you who don't know and who are listening live right now, we do our bounties at the end of each month to talk about our favorite things from that month and our favorite or most excited things we're most excited for the next month. So let's talk about October and what we got into in October, and then at the end we'll wrap up with what we're excited about in November. So the first question for everybody: what did you love this month? Ryan, you go first.
Modern Warfare. I've been playing it nonstop since it came out.
Yeah.
I guess not since it came out, but since Sunday.
Yeah, you were a couple days late.
Yeah. I've been playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and 4 on Mondays on my co-op stream, on my couch co-op stream.
Sure.
And like that's the first time I really played Call of Duty, other than like when Blackout dropped.
Wait, like first time ever?
No. But like before that, I played Modern Warfare 2.
Oh wow. So you
And
stayed away for a while.
Yeah, I think I played the campaign for Black Ops, like the first Black Ops, and that was.
Yeah, I
like,
enjoyed that.
I played a little bit online, and I didn't like that at all. So that was like a 6-year gap, I would say.
Wasn't there a twist to that story? The first Black Ops story?
I didn't care enough to.
Yes,
remember.
you're playing a guy talking to a Russian guy named Reznov, and Reznov's not real.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Reznov's in your head.
Yeah.
Because when like Reznov comes to break you out, you really break out of the interrogation room yourself, and you're like, "Wait a minute." Yeah. I think Reznov was the character from World at War, by the way, the guy that Gary Oldman played.
Interesting.
I
So, Ron,
don't
do
know,
you know what level you're up to?
I'm at level 25.
Nice.
I've only played 2 days worth.
Yeah, I played last night and did mostly gunfight and got to like level 10, I think.
Yeah, gunfight's really cool. The 2v2 is awesome.
Yeah.
2v2 they actually just had a tournament on Twitch the other day where Dr. Disrespect got to play against Shroud, which is really fucking funny.
Yeah.
And like that's like one of the big like Clash of the Titans right there, like Mixer versus Twitch. Like this is gonna be really cool.
So they stayed on their respective platforms.
Yeah.
Cool.
They were streaming on their own platforms, and then there was, I think they threw random teammates together, so that you actually like had to play like you just weren't with people that were queued up together all the time. At least that's what I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 2v2
is really good. The map's perfect size for that. The random guns make it to where you can't just have the guns that you love in
Yeah.
your play sets. So they've got so many other game types now, which are really cool. They've got like the big team battles like style. I haven't played that one at all. I've just been playing team deathmatch and search and destroy.
Sure.
I think I went like 26-2 in a search and destroy map today, and I didn't realize how many kills I had. My buddy's like, "Dude, you're 21-1 right now." I was like, "Okay." Like,
no, don't tell me.
I do like how you can sort of just be a stalker in some game modes. The up-down sound is difficult with headphones, but the left-right seems pretty good.
Oh
You
yeah,
can't tell if they're above or below you, but you can really position people with a good set of headphones. So
it's too much.
when I was doing my best, I was staying crouched and creeping.
Yeah.
And just waiting for people to come to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I would only camp for a few seconds if I knew something was about to happen, but I would never like stay in a room or anything like that. But I feel like I'm gonna continue to play that game as just like a ghost instead of the Rambo.
Yeah. This is like the first shooter in a minute that I've carried. I was playing Gunfight last night, and I had several 6-round matches where I went 8-10-0, and just fucking dominated. And then I had one where my buddy disconnected at the end. It was I think it was game 11. Like, it was tied 5-5. It was the definitive game, and he discoed like right in the beginning, and I was like, oh shit, and I won. I beat both of them by myself.
Awesome.
So like, man, yeah, it's fun. And if you're good at Apex or Battlefield, I think Apex might be. If you're good at Apex, you'll be great at this game initially. Maybe not as the game progresses and people get better and better, but like the TTK is pretty quick, and if you've got
TTK
time to kill,
okay,
it's pretty quick. And if you've got a good aim finger, I don't know, if you're quick on the draw, there we go, then you're gonna come out on top. Much like in Battlefield, where I was playing PUBG and Apex, and then jumped back into Battlefield and was like, oh, I killed 3 people with 1 magazine. That's nice. I forgot what this is like. Sorry, Ryan. Anything else you wanted to add about your experience with the old COD, the giant fish?
They've got quite a few OP weapons, which I hope they get nerfed. Like the 7.25 shotgun, you can like, as long as they're in front of you within 20 feet, if you just hit, if you hit fire, you win. It doesn't make any sense. You know, like a hip fire, like I understand, like from the movies, like, oh, I shoot you way over there, whatever, like, get off my lawn. Like, no, it doesn't work that way with a real gun. But and then the footsteps, like I get it, but I was on the second story of a building, and the guy was 25 feet away, and I could hear him walking in the building. Like, I knew I was pre-aiming him way before he even made it to the doorway he was going to go through.
Yeah.
Because I heard him walking. I was like, there's no way. I'm not going to hear that. I don't care.
Yeah.
If this dude's got steel boots, I mean, if he's got steel boots running on a metal floor, like, I understand. That makes sense. But it's not, there's no way you're going to be able to hear any of that.
Steel boots on a metal floor. I
Yeah.
just had the image of a guy like, clang, 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 clang.
Yeah. So, but other than that, like, I've been having a really good time with it. The game times have been really quick. They make sure that there's timers on games to where, like,
yeah, especially Gunfight, where it's like 10
gunfight,
seconds.
You have like,
oh shit,
like a minute and a half to kill the other teammate. Then it goes into overtime. So,
yeah. Ben, what's your favorite game so far this month?
I didn't get a chance to play Outer Worlds, unfortunately. But I did play Modern Warfare pretty close the night after it came out. I played equal parts multiplayer and single player. I have a lot of thoughts and dare I say emotions on the single player experience. So I don't know when you guys want to get into that, but it's very interesting. I'm about 3 missions from the end. Yeah, it's interesting, you know, because Modern Warfare has always tried to walk the line between I don't want to say acceptable, but they're definitely trying to be edgy, you know, with what was the name of the airport mission? No Russians or something like that.
No
or
Russian.
Yeah. Just that's when it started. That's when Modern Warfare broke. That was Modern Warfare 2. That's when they made the news, and they're trying to do it again, and not to make the news, but I think just to stay. See, I don't know. I haven't fully developed these thoughts yet. I don't know if they're trying to be edgy or they're trying to be culturally, like, I don't not culturally, but relevant, and I don't know if they're trying to say something or if they're just trying to stay modern and current. You know what I mean? Like, are they just
Yeah.
trying to like talk about what's going on now? Or are they trying to say something? And in this
Free,
age
free
of
airspace.
huh?
I said free airspace.
Yeah. So
If
I
you're
don't
on the
know.
news and they're talking about you don't have to pay for an advertisement.
Right. Yeah. Any press is good press, right?
Right.
So they, yeah, and especially when everybody's seemingly allergic to games being political, they're like, okay, we see you. How about every mission be extremely political? So
Hard to make a game about
um,
war and it not be political. Let's be completely honest.
right. So Almighty Zing in the chat says, I saw they tried to say that the highway of death in Iraq was the Russians' fault to make Americans look better. So yeah, without pissing off our entire listening base, yeah, there's a lot of things to be said about the U.S. involvement in world events, and I think playing through this game, they tried to what's the verb of innocuous, Caleb? Innocuous.
Inoculate,
They tried to inoculate a lot of
sanitize.
yeah, a lot of world events to just sort of keep things safe, keep people from getting too angry, keep things from getting too polarized and too one-sided. And Russia's been the butt of every action movie since Rambo, right? So, or Russia's always been the bad guy. So, for some reason, they seem to be fine with that, or at least Americans are fine with that. So, I think to make a game that's largely going to be played in the U.S. Rocky. Yeah, right. Um, that they can't demonize the U.S. too much, or they're going to have a real problem. So you can't make a game that's like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
U.S. caused all of this.
Yeah.
You just can't do that.
Well,
So
they've also like made up a country for the sake of being able to tell a story specifically to
Yeah.
what they want to say.
yeah, it was
They're
like
not. We're not in
Kyrgyzstan,
Iraq. We're not in Baghdad. We're in Urzikstan.
Kyrgyzstan, yeah.
Yeah, which is made up,
So
which I
it's
appreciate.
so it's interesting. I think the way they set it up, if you know your history, you're like, okay, I get it. If you don't know your history, you're like, okay, I get it. Hoorah, let's go kill the bad guy. So I still feel like if, regardless of where you are in a headspace, it's still a pretty good time. But there are some moments that were generally shocking.
Yo,
There's
the cold open to this game.
cold open. Yeah, the opening 1 minute, 60 seconds.
So like it should be said that when you start this campaign, no matter how far into it you are, when you hit play, it says first, this campaign has mature themes in it that are unsettling. Do you want to continue? And you can say no.
I dare say, and I know this word is bandied around and misused, but there should be trigger warnings on some of these stages. Like,
Yes,
legitimate.
sure.
I'm not saying the word incorrectly. I full respect where it's due. There are some trigger last levels. Like, if you've been traumatized in any way by anything, that London level is going to mess you up.
Yep, the London level.
played
So
any of it yet.
the opening of this game, like as the credits are rolling, these guys get out of a van and then step into a big busy square in London, and there's like a mom and her kid and
Famous
some people.
Piccadilly Circus.
Yeah, Piccadilly Circus, and there's a mom and her kid walking by as this guy walks out with a bomb vest on, and he goes like this and raises his right arm to like hit the trigger with this mom and kid like 20 feet away, and it just goes black and says Modern Warfare.
Right.
And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. And then when you do the mission where you go hunt through the townhouse in London, as soon as we started climbing through windows, I was like, this feels...
we spoiling stuff here? 'Cause I
No,
haven't
there was the
played it
first 60 seconds.
It's
No
the
spoiling.
opening moment.
Yeah.
yeah.
No, that's fine. I just
Yeah,
wanna
no, you're
make
good.
sure
You're
we're-
good. You're good. Good
Start
check up.
setting
Good
the
check up. The mission where you go into the townhouse that everyone was talking about at E3, feeling bad.
Yeah.
As soon as I started climbing into a window of a person's home,
Yeah.
armed to the teeth, I was like, this fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Like, this feels
So
really bad.
They throw that at you multiple times in the campaign, by the way. They recognize this sort of home multi-level clearing aesthetic, and they do it multiple times. And the last thing I want to cover, and I'll try to be as least spoiler as possible. I think I'm pretty good at it. You guys don't have to be afraid.
Now I am, though.
There's a level where you, well, I guess I can't really say much. You take place. Oh, I can say this: you're a civilian in the Middle East, and your town's being attacked by Russians. So that's most of the game. So that's pretty safe to say. But you're a civilian, and your town's being attacked, and you have to run for your life, and you're like crawling through bodies.
They're fun.
Yeah. And some of them are children. So.
Yikes. All right, well, Call of Duty, man. Trying to represent war in all of its awfulness. So
yeah, it's interesting. So the reason I bring those two things up, the Piccadilly Circus and the Middle East civilian scene, is that like they're gamifying it. So is that oh, hold on, what's this guy's name? Stab.
He's gone.
Oh, why?
Because it's a spam bot.
Oh yeah, I'd like to design your overlay. Okay, anyway, yeah. So how do you guys feel with them gamifying these like super sensitive topics? Like I'm not even remotely.
Well, define gamifying, because like if it's like you didn't get the perfect score because you didn't do it right.
Just stab this guy in the back.
Well, hang on. Like, I think gamifying is overused in that like it's never defined clearly when it's brought up, and like I don't think that representing something in a game equals gamifying.
I see.
Gamifying is like you got points for doing this thing,
Yeah.
or like you
Well,
got less of a grade because you didn't do that thing, or you double kill. Like that's gamifying. So like giving you interactivity in scenes of impact, I don't think is the same. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So this is just. I don't know. I really want to write something up on this because I have a lot to. I don't know. It's causing me to think a lot about the world stage and conflict and war and making games about war, and there's a lot of people who have opinions about making war on modern events, saying it trivializes it, or it's I don't know. It's really interesting. I just I don't know how I think. It's really interesting. I don't know how to think about it as I'm playing through it. It's a kind of a mindfuck playing through the campaign of this game for real. It's crazy. Yeah, it's extremely relevant. Extremely relevant.
Yeah.
Everything about this game has been tailored to match the last 5 to 10 years of modern combat.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll
If you
have more to.
family that serve. It's gonna make you think. I swear to God, it will.
Yeah. I'm interested to get through the campaign because I wanna debate these things, and maybe we should do a post-mortem on it. Seems like it would be appropriate to get into a long-form discussion about this stuff. But I'm gonna bend away from the group and say my favorite game of October so far. Well, shit. It's kind of a mix. I've played a lot of Ghost Recon. Ghost Recon's great. I like it a lot. And so it's actually interesting because Ghost Recon, or Ubisoft had a recent event, or I don't know what the circumstances were, but Yves Guillemot, the CEO and one of the co-founders, brought up that the reception for Breakpoint was like less than they expected. It wasn't as warm as they expected because they introduced some things and didn't do a good job of following through on the delivery of these new mechanics and things in the game, and that also like the team behind Breakpoint are working to retool some things and kind of reimagine the experience for people so that like the loot tables and the frequency changes so that you're not like always upgrading shit, and that like all sorts of stuff. There's AI. You're getting AI companions again, like you had in Wildlands. Like they heard feedback that being alone wasn't fun for many people, so they're gonna bring AI companions back. I actually genuinely really like this game though, just as it is. Like I will say that the loot is a bit excessive. Like you are always picking stuff up, but I find that if I treat it as like a like an Elder Scrolls game where you could go through and look at everything you pick up on your quests, it would make it very boring. And so instead I would like go out and do a bunch of shit and then come back to a base or whatever to turn things in and then go, what did I bring back? And so like playing Ghost Recon like that, going out and doing a bunch of stuff, coming back and then rifling through the rifles that I just got, like that has made it a lot easier to manage. Similarly, there was a big uproar, hubbub, whatever you want to call it, in the early moments of this game's release where people were like, so there's this system set up where you can upgrade your guns from Mark 1 to Mark 2 to Mark 3. And to upgrade through Mark 1, you have to have standard weapon parts. But as you get a higher gear score, you stop getting standard weapons. So you can't break them down to get standard weapon parts.
Huh.
So you were like, how do I upgrade guns now that I've used the standard weapon parts I had from when I was that low in level? Interestingly, that's not actually an issue, because if you take down drones, taking down drones gives you standard weapon parts. And so people were basically running into this problem before getting far enough into the game to actually encounter drones that give them standard parts. They were doing too many side things too early and getting too high a level before you were supposed to encounter drones, which would naturally reintroduce that mechanic into the wild. But that aside, without being too verbose about the specifics, like I'm actually genuinely oh shit.
From the
Player
shadows,
4 has entered the game.
he emerges. Like a phoenix from the ashes, he rises.
Hybrid class has entered the game.
Hit
Gentlemen.
that cast link, bud. Hit
How's
that
it going?
cast link.
I'm already in
He's
cast.
already in
I'm-
cast.
Are
man.
I've been in cast for like
You sneaky.
Yeah, I heard
couple
him.
minutes
I heard
here.
him join cast, and I started rearranging things in the background so that when he came in, I could have the transition for the screen nice and good. So Eric
That's
is
why I
here.
joined. That's why I joined cast first. I was like, all right, let's
Yeah.
try and be semi-professional about
Clue
this.
them in a little bit as to what is going on. Yeah, so like we're talking about our bounties right now, so you'll be next talking about your favorite thing from October.
Don't know what that would be.
But Breakpoint's like super fun, and I've mentioned this a few times to people, and I haven't really been able to get into depth on it. So forgive me for a moment. I'm going to take like 2 minutes to get real in depth, and then we'll step back out. So like I'm a huge fan of stealth games and tactics games, and there hasn't really been a stealth game from Ubisoft or around the world in a minute. Like Dishonored 2 came out a couple of years ago, and that game was very good. I didn't finish it, but that game was very good, and now it's on Game Pass, so I have the opportunity to go back to it. But Assassin's Creed Odyssey was not a stealth game in almost any way. Like there were stealth mechanics to it, but the Assassin's Creed lost its focus on stealth, I think, with Odyssey. And so most of that game is like, do stealth until you get into a fight, and then like, we've really optimized the fighting. And like, that's totally true. I hope that they go back towards stealth in their next title. But that being said, like, but Breakpoint isn't doing anything particularly new when it comes to stealth. It's still very much show up at a base, throw out your drone, mark everybody, and then go. So you've got like this exploration phase, this planning phase, and then an action phase, without it being separated in actual turns. And so that's the way I'm treating it. Like I'll ride up to a place, throw my drone out, spot everybody, watch them move for a couple of seconds, and then go, okay, how am I going to solve this puzzle? And it's like running through and doing that in the cleanest and most like succinct way is so gratifying that I haven't gotten bored with it like 40 hours in. So like, don't go to Breakpoint, I don't think, looking for something 100% new in its mechanics. But it is fresh in that it's doing a thing that I don't think a lot of games have relied on. Taking away your 3 companions has made getting into a gunfight a really fucking bad idea. And having the wolves a part of the game who are armed to the teeth and have drones that literally when you shoot them, they like start moving like this, like flipping around fastly, and then some of them will even flip over and fly around. So while you're aiming at them, they start doing fucking crazy shit. And like, it just makes engagement way more stressful. And so stealth is really important, because if you fuck up, like, it's going to be tooth and nail to get out of it alive.
How many times do you think you've? How many hours do you think you've put into the game? Do you know?
I've put like 43 or 45 hours in, I think.
And how many times do you recall running into the wolves?
It's only started relatively recently. I avoided them for a very long time because I got into a couple engagements early and got fucking murdered.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you were watching.
I watched a couple of those.
I was
It
like, "Hey,
just
I'm gonna shoot at this drone and then take out these." And I'd shoot once and then be like, "Oh god!" and then I'm dead.
It was L over the chat. Lols
Yeah,
all
it
day.
did not go very well. But that's starting to change. Like as I'm getting further into the story, because again, I kind of played this like Skyrim, like an asshole, and like did a bunch of side shit, and then was like, "Oh yeah, the story." And so I've done a bunch of side stuff that's not wolf centric, and the story is. And now that I'm getting into the story and interacting with them more, they are hyper aware. Like the other guys, you can shoot a guy next to him and they turn like, ugh, and then look. And the wolves don't even look at their fallen comrade. They just snap to where you just shot from, and they start moving instantly. They never stop their rotations, or they're always moving on bases, and their time to that little thing that fills up when they identify you, they're like time to their awareness is like half the speed as regular soldiers.
Right.
So I've poked my head out and I've been like, boop, and I'm like, oh shit, like, and then he's up and firing. It's not like there's a dude, go run, hide, and then start shooting. They just snap to and start firing, and they're aggressive. They run right at you. So yeah, it really changed. Like if you play it like I have, you get 30 hours of running around and doing fun stuff, and then you get an enemy that completely makes you reassess your approach.
Is that game 100% co-op?
100%. Drop in, drop out, anytime. 4 players all the way through, and like adding people does change the dynamic a little bit because it's a lot less like I can't deal with this because you've got a buddy. Odin and I played for the first time. I've only played the game co-op. I've played it for 45 hours. I've only played the game co-op for like 3. I played with Odin for the first time a couple days ago. Eric's having headset problems. I played with Odin for the first time a few days ago for a few hours, and it was really nice. Like, I was almost spotted by a guy, and then I heard just a and like he fell as a dead body, and Odin was like, "Gotcha." I was like, "Ooh, shit. Thank you, sir."
That's awesome.
It's very nice. And you get achievements for like taking out targets in quick succession with each other. So we dropped 2 guys at the same time and we got an achievement that was like drop them like liquid or something. Super good. I'm really, really, really enjoying that game. My close second is Outer Worlds. That's the game I need to have more time for.
Eric, what are you drinking?
Eric's headset's
Nothing?
not coming through. Eric, what are you drinking? Oh, nope, he's not there. So while we're waiting for Eric to get his headset organized, I guess organized isn't the right word. The second question for Bounties is, what did you try this month that you weren't a huge fan of?
Boy.
And if there isn't one, that's okay. Like, I think September was a more busy month that had more things going on. So,
The Apex update.
oh no! Please tell us more. The spooky one?
Yeah, the spooky one.
Alright.
I played it a couple of times.
I played it cup time.
Parrots?
I think I played it one whole day, and it just, I don't know, it sucked not having a friend to play with. Like, it sucked not being able to, like, have people watching your back and that kind of thing. And I know that's not what that game mode's not about, you know, until you get to the final 10. It's just, you know, there'd be times that you fall in and you'd be the first one dead, and then now you have to sit and be the zombie chasing people down. It didn't really give me the Apex feel that I'm used to.
Sure.
So I played it that first day, maybe a few more the next time, and then I just quit. Like, I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do this. Like, I liked it though. There was a couple times I just rage quit. I was like, yeah, first one dead. All right, I'm quitting out. I'm just gonna reboot another one, and now that's one less zombie to take out the final 10. You know what I'm saying? So,
Sure.
Like, I became the person that I hated because I saw everybody else like dipping out after they died once. So.
Yeah, I haven't played the Fright Night thing yet. Because it's solo. I think it's super dumb that like I can't bring a friend to it.
Well, but the other thing is, everybody was complaining that whenever they had solos in Apex, they loved it. And then they took the solo mode away, and everybody's like, "Oh my god, bring solos back!" And I was like, "Solos is literally the worst thing I've played. Like anything solo wise, the new duo, I can easily find one other person to play Apex with.
Right.
It's hard to find that third.
Yeah,
So even
for sure.
even if I have like the other person, they have their whole friends list, and we still can't find a third. So like duos is super easy. And you're like, yeah, if I see one person, I was like, all right, maybe there's one more with them, instead of I see one person, oh shit, there could be two more that we don't know of, that we don't see yet. So it just it kind of lessens the stress of the battle, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I remember when Solos was out, I played like 2 rounds and I was like, yeah, fuck this. Like the level of stress that I felt playing alone in that game reminded me of like PUBG. I was like, ooh, I don't need this right now.
Well, I think it was more like with PUBG, whenever I played solos, because I played solos a lot there, I didn't feel a level of stress because I knew that it was a gunfight mechanic. I wasn't necessarily worried about, okay, now I'm the added stress of, okay, I'm a Pathfinder and here's a Bloodhound. And I know that there's nobody watching my back and they can track me down. Where in PUBG, I could throw a good juke, I could run into a building, I could post up. And I know that they're on equal footing because it's not this super soldier with elite abilities type thing. But yeah, I agree. That game is not built to be played solo in any capacity whatsoever.
It's like I can't imagine a game with synergistic legend abilities is made to be played alone. The abilities are literally all made to play off of each other, and so soloing up is like, well, there's no more synergy. So
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Eric, that was Ryan's response to a game that he played this month and wasn't a huge fan of, and he brought up the specific fall update for Apex. But did you have a game that you loved in October that released in October?
Well, I mean, I haven't been on since my game of the year 2019 came out, which is right there over your shoulder, Caleb.
Yes, right here.
Right there. It is Gearbox has done such a good job with that game. It is my destiny, right? I mean, it is
Nice.
everybody's looter. Everybody's got a looter shooter. It took all the gunplay mechanics from Destiny and gave me a Diablo loot system with what they have been adding this last week. The year-long celebration that ended last week was executed flawlessly. I don't want to belabor it. You and I are going to do a post-mortem on it, where we're gonna talk very in depth about it. But I could not be happier with what they did with Borderlands 3. The writing is not as strong in some places, but I also think they did a good job of maturing the writing. Right? They knew how long it was between Borderlands 1 and then Borderlands 2, and now Borderlands 3, and that initial audience has grown. And they did a good job of growing the storyline in that way.
Interesting.
To meet that need. There's still the potty humor. There's still the ridiculously dumb jokes.
That's what I was going to get at. I was like, I've heard people complain about it having poopy humor.
But there's still that in there. But ultimately, the core of the writing it's been elevated a little bit. There's a little bit more in depth to the story. There's some there's a little bit of family drama in there without giving too many spoilers away. I think my biggest complaint about the game is the campaign. The campaign is just too damn long.
Interesting.
Really?
That's not.
I mean,
encouraging.
it
I'm
is
so far behind in that game now. I don't.
No. It's not that that's not a bad thing, right? But when you want to level all the characters like I want to,
Yeah.
like on Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 1, it was very easy. You leveled your one character, you got your playthrough done, you downloaded a hex editing tool, you stuck in your save file on Xbox or Xbox 360, you leveled your character, your other 3 characters up to 50, and then you went and farmed with them. That's what you did. There's no way to do that on Xbox One because of the cloud saves and the way stuff syncs.
Yeah.
Whereas PC players have the advantage, and you can see watching any stream. Like I watch a streamer, awesome streamer, Schwivity5. I think anyway.
I don't know how to pronounce that. It trips
Yeah.
me every time.
Yeah, she's an amazing Borderlands streamer.
Yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, and she's a great streamer, period. But yeah, that I mean, she does. They've got you look at her, or King Gathalion, or any of those guys that are streaming Borderlands, and they've got like 100 characters that they just use as banks, right?
Lord.
That they've just said, okay, this is level 50 max bank space, and it's local save files, right? It's the way the game is built. They're not hacking anything.
Right.
They're just changing a save. So I have no problem with what they're doing. But man, the over the last 2 weeks since they added the Echo Cast for console, it has changed the way that I play that game, because I'm now actually getting the interaction where the audience is able to name a badass and troll me, right? Which I found that the badass functionality is essentially like you're allowing your stream to the audience that's watching
Yeah.
through the Echo Cast extension on Twitch. There's all types of different events that they can participate in, right? So one of them is a badass event. So when the highest tier of badass appears, whoever clicks on it first, it names the badass that person's Twitch name. So now you're fighting that person, and then the audience can vote on different times on, okay, we want to restore all their shields right now. We want to restore all their health. Give them double damage. Give them, resistance to this element.
That sounds incredible.
It's super awesome. And then it's there's another one which is a pinata event. So whenever I get a guardian rank, the pinata appears and the audience votes on what comes out of the pinata for me. Then there is red chest events. So whenever I open a red chest in the game, the audience, you can join the event, and then you get a chance to win what's in that chest. So
Awesome.
it may pick 100 people. Like I literally have 230 pieces of mail from Swifty's stream that I have to go through and pull on one of my characters. And the beautiful thing about that mail is whatever character you open it on, that's the level it starts at. So as I'm leveling Flack or Moze or Amara, I'm able to now get guns. I basically got an armory of badass guns just sitting there waiting for me as I level all these characters up.
Man, I would love to see the industry continue to go that direction of games interacting with their audience.
Yeah, that the Echo Cast it's done so well that I think Gearbox has set the bar for what extensions can do.
No kidding.
Going forward. It is really awesome.
Imagine playing like Red Dead and getting a bounty for one of your viewers.
Yeah.
And then like
That would be cool.
having to hunt them down, or
I mean, think of Apex, where they get to dictate what comes out of the box you shoot down from the dragon.
sure.
There was a battle royale what was the name of that? The Darwin Project actually did.
Yes, dude. Darwin
something
Project it was Hunger Games. You could be sponsors. You could drop loot for people in the middle of the game, and you could like vote for what the game master
See, that's
did.
genius.
It's so good. It's so good. That's where
Yeah, it
we're
was
gonna
real
see
good.
games actually like. I don't know. I don't want to like make a unilateral statement like this, but it feels like that's gonna be what lifts games into like the crowd, the popular viewership for esports. It's
Yep.
like,
Be
I can
racing
watch
in
this.
Forza and get a flat tire because somebody in my
Well, not that. That
that's
would be
like-
really funny, but not that.
So the interesting thing is the badass event, right? I have it set on an hour cooldown because it literally becomes. There was one badass fight where I lost it because the audience kept voting, and I just ran out of ammo on all my guns. Like I couldn't keep up with the amount that they were healing the shields and healing the armor. Even with my totally geared and overpowered Zane, I just couldn't. I couldn't keep enough cryo damage on him. My cooldowns were never there, and every time I would need to pop an action skill, it eventually, because the way that I'm running my build is it's very dependent on having lighter mobs around that I can just kill real quick to reset all my action skills and then go focus on the big guy. And I just couldn't do it. And I was like, all right, it's kind of trolly. I'm going to set it for an hour. I'm going to do one of these fights, and we're going to leave it at that. That was September, since we're now caught up. October, could not be happier with Call of Duty.
Oh yeah,
So
okay,
good.
okay.
Thank you, Smurf, for gifting that game to me.
Oh hell yeah!
I was not planning on buying it in any way whatsoever because I was planning on just playing the Outer Worlds, and then I looked in my email and there was a gift from a friend of the show, Real Dirty Smurf, and I'm pretty ecstatic with it.
Yeah,
It
it's a lot of fun.
is. It is. I'm about halfway through the campaign. It is very heavy.
It is.
Very heavy in a good
Talked about
way.
that before you got here.
Yeah, makes you think a lot.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time in a long time that we have seen a campaign in a shooter deal with current events that
Yeah.
could happen tomorrow.
Right.
I mean, for all we know, Captain Price is out there right now dealing with this shit.
I'm sure there is a Captain Price in the world.
Mm-hmm.
He may not be Scottish and wonderful, but he's out there.
Captain Price has inspired 102 more lines of dialogue for Mr. Wadsworth.
Wait, really?
My Twitch bot. Yeah. So my Twitch, for those of you who don't know, my Twitch bot, Mr. Wadsworth, is very tightly based on Captain Price from the original. He's an ex-SAS operative. He's got the attitude. I found him drunk in an alley and brought him. There's a whole backstory to Mr. Wadsworth that I go into as I'm berating him on my stream because he sits off camera right here. But anyway, yeah, the story's great. The multiplayer is super tight.
Like your camera.
I'm excited to see when the Elite Series 2 comes out next week and I get mine in my hands. How I fare with a stick that doesn't constantly want to just look up. Because my right stick is broken to the point where if I'm not holding it down at 100% of the time, it's just going to go.
Yeah,
It's just going to go up on its own. And my left
going.
Yeah, and my left stick just moves.
Man, my Elite controller is like, it's in shambles, man. I've played with it way too much over the last 4 years.
Yeah, it's not wear down or tear down. It's just I keep knocking it off my desk, and it's user error, right? You know, I'm pretty careful with my shit, except you guys noticed the headphone switch like in the middle of all of you talking there, because literally my Logitech just died.
What's the...
I'm starting to get drift in my brand new controller that I got with my Xbox One X. Like, I play games a lot, but not that much to where I should have drift.
Maybe you just squeeze the stick too hard.
No.
That's what she said.
Shut up, Eric.
I'm
back.
I'm convinced that all of my friends play with their joysticks too ferociously because everybody I know has drifting sticks or the rubber
That's just too good.
or the fucking rubber's getting ripped off or like this shit's just falling apart. I'm like, what are you guys doing? Calm down.
I need a fucking eject button on this conversation.
Animation where like it takes your body goes like straight up.
The rubber gets ripped off and shit just falls apart 9 months later. You're absolutely right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, so we're gonna move on. Eric, do you have anything you played that you bounced off of? Oh my god, I hate you guys so much.
Anything I played what?
That you bounced off of, that you weren't a big fan of.
No, I mean, I've literally since Borderlands came out, it has been that. I have 9.5 days in the game, total hours.
Yikes. The game's been out for like 30
Yep.
days.
Yep. I have almost a third of those days in that game
All right.
at this point. All in Zane. I have had... I've completed all of the current achievements I need to work through and complete the Halloween event that they have up, so I'm ready for when the next... they're doing a really good job with like just limited time events too.
Sure.
And their micro updates, which is kind of cool. So they'll launch an update. Like last week, every single day was a different event, right? It was, get this, and then all of a sudden it was 100% drop rate from the red chest. So if you're watching somebody with a stream and you join the chest event, you're getting the loot, which was pretty slick. And then they did higher iridium-based and anointed-based drops. So they've got a new tier of weapons in Borderlands 3, which are anointed weapons. So they may drop, you've got your legendaries, but then you can get a weapon that drops anointed, so for example, I'm running a Night Hawkins right now, which is based after Stranger Things, which is good. So during the day it is cryo, at night it is fire.
Physicist, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Not the astrophysicist. The red tagline is literally "There are stranger things," and then it's a badass SMG, perfect for Zane. Probably the best one on Zane, in my opinion. And then I found one that is Anointed Sentinel. So whenever my Sentinel action skill is out, I get an extra cryo damage. And there's all types of different anointed guns now. And apparently that was so popular that they're not taking it out of the game.
Why do they call it anointed? What's the lore on that?
There is so without being too spoilerish, one of the Calypso twins, after he gets permanent siren powers by taking someone else's, he is able to anoint what he called anoint people, which is basically make them these giant Iridian monsters that have special powers. So now there's badasses, and then there's anointed, right? So there's like the anointed tinks, which are the little, the little short guys. They run around. They're a pain in the ass. They can go like Ant-Man small and scoot around the map, and then they go like giant, and they just lob balls of energy at you. And they're highly resistant to everything but fire, and they're kind of a nightmare to fight. But they've lowered their damage scale a little bit, so they're not so bad. As long as you don't get a mayhem roll that you have fire resistance on, you're pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so is there any game that anybody here has been just finding themselves going back to? So there's a question in the monthly bounties list that is your time sink, and like that's just a game that may not have come out this month, but you found yourself coming back to over and over again.
I think 9 days. 9 days speaks for itself.
Your time sink is Borderlands. It falls in line with everything else. Ryan, you got anything you've been going back to that's not specifically new? I know we haven't played Rocket League in a minute, so that kind of can't be... You're muted, homie. That kind of can't be the answer for now.
I played that on Monday for a little while.
All right. Sea of Thieves has been my recent fucking random...
Yeah, there's a double XP for the next 5 days. We need to get on that. We need to get you guys legendary. But, no. But, it'd be fun. No, there's really actually no imperative to do that. But, you know, if there's a reason to play a game, it's for the goalposts they set for you. So the only reason to do anything in Sea of Thieves is to become legendary. So,
right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll keep going back to that. There's the Halloween event and the double XP and the double money event, so that's cool. Warframe's next big update's coming through, where they give us a new Warframe, and they actually have completely redone 2 other Warframes. So the two of the old Warframes, the Vauban and the what's the fire one? The Ember, have been completely retooled, new skills and everything.
Yeah.
So and then we got the new fat Warframe that eats things and then throws them up at people, and then you can turn into a big ball and roll around. It looks awesome. It's awesome. So weird and goofy. It's
that's weird.
Purposely goofy. And like the more you eat, the more his belly jiggles with like a physics engine. So that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's goofy and great. And that's the PC, it's on the way, which means consoles aren't going to get it for probably 2-3 weeks. Because it takes forever to go through certification. But yeah, that's pretty exciting. The last half of whatever's left for 2019 is going to be crazy for Warframe. So, but I haven't actually played in a while. How about that shit?
Hey man, sometimes you gotta put work into other things. I said get work in other things, but it's true. Sometimes you gotta put time into other stuff. That's one of the things that that you run into in the fall, specifically when you talk about games on a podcast, is that like, oh, this shit came out, I should play it for a little bit so I can say something about it.
Oh, there's so much.
I'm so glad I played Modern Warfare so I could talk about something this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do want to mention before we get on to like games that we're looking forward to or whatever.
Yep,
like,
that was the next thing I was gonna do. Go ahead.
Well, okay, if that is next, then I'll wait. Anybody else got a
Wait, are you talking about next month stuff? You said you want to make a point before we talked about next month stuff. The next thing we're talking about is next month.
It's something I played that I'm looking forward to. So if we're going to talk about that next, then
all right, then go for it. The next topic is things we're excited about coming up in the next month in November, And
So-
you've played something already that's in beta that's coming out in full next month.
Yeah, I don't know if it's digital Devolver or Devolver Digital.
Devolver Digital.
Thank you. I always get it mixed up. Released. They just put a tweet out at like 11 o'clock the other night. No, it was later than that. It's because we were getting ready for Twitch. It was like past midnight. They're like, "Hey, the demo for Carrion is out, and play it now before November 1st." It's a game where you play the villain. You're basically a giant
Oh yeah.
of flesh.
Yeah,
The way
yeah.
you move around is it's a mouse only game. No, you hit shift to growl, I think, which is pretty cool. So, and when you click over to over there, the tentacles go slap against the wall and it pulls you. So you're just like this giant fleshy mass sneaking around the level and eating people. And so you can like hide in the air vents, you can like throw your mass against the wall as spikes. You can like use one as an eyeball to like look up and over an air vent. You can grab people and fling them around, or like throw them into your mouth. It's so great. It's so visceral and awesome to be just this big disgusting mass. There's blood everywhere. Everything's screaming, and then by the end of the demo, they start throwing things at you.
Ben's like, finally they made a game about me.
It's so weird. By the end of the demo, they throw things at you that can hurt you and kill you. So they give you a few minutes of just pure unbridled fun, and then they give you turrets that just tear you in half, or things that light you on fire and you have to go find water. But it was awesome.
So like the game shows you like it could be really fun, and then at the end it's like, but
Slow
also
down.
but like check it out, they can hurt you later on.
Yeah.
So this game is going to be more in depth than you think.
I actually liken it a lot to Shadow of the Ninja, where you're just a complete badass, but you've got to be careful.
Mark of the Ninja.
Mark of the Ninja.
Yeah.
You
That
have
game
to-
was fucking dope.
But yeah, it's grimy and gross and terrifying, and you can like rip people in half and eat them one load at a time, and it's awesome.
How do you think this game's going to impact your mental state? I'm kidding. Don't answer that. Some big releases next month. I know we have Death Stranding on November 8th, which is just a little more than a week away, and I can't wait. I know Ryan's shaking his head with disdain, whatever. And then a week exactly after that, we get Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Anything else big in November that we're super pumped about? Oh, NFS Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might need to play that. Like I said before, if it makes me feel like I'm playing Midnight Club, I'm never going to stop playing that
Yeah.
game.
Pokemon Sword and Shield is also November. I think it's November 15th with Star Wars. Clearly, Nintendo knows they're not going for the same. That's weird. They're definitely going for the same demographic, but like
Shenmue 3, baby.
different games. That's Is that actually coming out next month?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna.
All I know is Death Stranding is coming to PC next year, so I will actually
You
get an
gonna wait on it?
opportunity. Yeah, well, I don't have a PS4, so I have to.
Well, my book's gonna be done in like 4 days, so my time is just about to just explode with availability.
There you
Oh, buddy. Yeah, we got to play some stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna start dedicating like nights to gaming again. Like I'll see you guys at 10, as opposed to where's Ben gone. So I'm pretty excited about that.
You got shit going on.
I did, but I'm really excited for nothing to be going on. Very
Yes.
excited for that.
Yeah, me too. Because,
Yeah.
talking to people on the other side of the world Wednesday nights at 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night, not fun.
No, doesn't sound fun.
It's fun for a moment, and you're like, oh, all right, I'm over it.
It's,
Yeah. Yeah.
We're now, that's so cool. And then like,
that moment is, hey, how are you guys? And then
Hang
it
on.
ends.
And now I thought initially that Eric was talking about work things, but now I feel like he's talking about talking to us.
Yeah.
No.
On Wednesday
Def-
nights at 10,
Nope.
11, 12.
Definitely work things. 100% work things. Not you guys.
Eric was slowly moving into the I hate talking to you
I
guys.
hate all of you. God. No, it was definitely not that.
My biggest game I'm looking forward to is Star Wars. Death
Yeah, it looks
Stranding's
good.
right there next to it, but I'm so pumped for Star Wars a whole month before the movie comes out so I can get prepared for the emotional fucking mess that I will be for Rise of Skywalker.
yep.
Yep.
They
That
say
movie is going to
we're
destroy
on
me.
topic. They say the first episode of
Mandalorian.
show, Mandalorian, has whatever spoilers means for Star Wars.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Why would they do that?
I don't know because it comes out before the movie, so that's weird.
Weird. Oh, I have a thing that may not actually be something that's actually happening, but Star Wars has been making these Black Series figures that people are collecting. They're like toys and boxes that are super cool, and yeah. Cal Kestis and the second sister Inquisitor are Black Series figures. Cal Kestis is the main character from Jedi Fallen Order, and second sister is the chick with the dual-sided lightsaber that's hunting him.
Okay.
The rest of this Black Series, the rest of the Black Series figures are all from movies or shows. And I remember when they first saw the trailer for Jedi Fallen Order, I was like, yo, they cast a bunch of real-life actors to play the main roles of this game. Right. We could very easily get a show.
Like Janina?
Based on... Huh?
Like Janina was was the lead person in Battlefront. What's her face?
Janina Gavankar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we could very easily get a TV show based on the events of Jedi Fallen Order, or have them pop up in something.
Yeah.
Because they're all...
That's more likely, I think. If it was going to be a show, we'd probably know already. But maybe not.
Maybe not. Disney's pretty closed, tight-lipped about things. Ben, what's the thing you're looking forward to most next month?
I don't know about most. I'm very cautious about most of it. Like, Need for Speed looks great, especially if it plays like Midnight Club. I'm very excited about that. The Star Wars game, I need to know more or something. It just, like, the third person action lightsaber swinging just looks just kind of like every other. I don't know. It doesn't look that different to me. I don't know. The initial cutscene, the first opening swing, I was like, hell yeah! Like when the guy fell out, they were like working in a
they were cutting
on a
up.
thing, and the guy fell, and he was like fighting himself to use his force powers to save him. Like that all looks great. Of course, that's not gameplay, but looks cool. So I don't know what to think about that. Death Stranding has me completely bewildered. I did not like 5 at Hall. I was annoyed most of the time. The gameplay was great. Gameplay was great. So that should give me a little bit of hope. The gameplay was a lot of fun. I remember at some point going, oh, wow, this is really cool. And then I just didn't want to go back to it because it just felt laborious.
Was it when he fell down the cliff and landed on his stomach and the baby was fine? Or was it whenever he woke up and took a pee?
Ryan's got so much disdain for this game.
I'm going to agree with Ryan to a degree where I am not looking forward to any bit of Death Stranding. I don't, like, it's just that it's weird. I want to know more. That's why I want to play it. But I'm completely bewildered by it. I'm confused.
Some would even say you're beleaguered.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I don't want to avoid it. I just don't know. I'm not sold as a day one right now. So I don't know. I love was it Mads Mikkelsen and Guillermo del Toro's in it, and big Norman Reedus fan, of course. So like, there's a lot of star power. But maybe if I had more than a few hours a night to play, I'd be willing to like sit down. It'd probably be something me and the gal would get into, because she likes watching cinematic games like what was that PlayStation survival game, Until Dawn, stuff like that. We'll probably play Final Fantasy together because that's 7, the remaster. So maybe that'll be a good reason to get into it. Something to play with your other half. So
yeah.
As far as the rest of the year, it's all Warframe for me, baby. They are throwing so much at us, it's fucking insane. So I can go on about that for a half hour, so I'll spare you. But yeah, I've already talked about it. I think I talked about it last week, the stuff they're bringing to it with the spaceship and all that stuff. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And we don't actually know what part of the year it's coming out in. They're releasing it in 3 phases. Some of it is going to be... They're releasing it in 3 phases across the next 2 or 3 months. So we don't know what we're getting and when. So I'm excited for things, and I have no idea when they're coming out.
I mean, that's how games kind of are now. But
I suppose,
okay.
But I don't even have a release date. I'm just patiently waiting. And they're not really showing much. They're just like, it'll be ready when it's ready. And you'll have it when you have it.
Yep.
I don't even think they're going to give us a warning. I think they're just going to be like, here it is. Have fun.
That'd be dope. Turn on your game and it's like, why does this have a huge update?
Yeah.
And then Eric, what are you looking forward to most next month?
Man, the Maliwan Overtake is coming out in Borderlands, so that'll be November 21st. So that's the first like kind of 4-man raid that's coming in Borderlands, which is going to be super awesome. So it's built to be a co-op activity. So that'll be fun. Once we get some people to level 50, I've got Maximus Max, my neighbor down the street, who you guys have seen pop on the stream from time to time.
Yes.
He is bought his own Xbox for Borderlands specifically. So now he is almost leveled up to 50. He bought Call of Duty too, so he's hopping in with Call of Duty with us as well. So
guys, I think we should all play Call of Duty after this. Anyway, go ahead.
He's all in.
Yeah.
And then that's pretty much going to be it. It's going to be Borderlands and then Call of Duty for the rest of the year. I'm eventually going to take a break from both of those and get into Outer Worlds because I really want to play that. It just looks.
Oh man, Outer Worlds is like.
It just looks great.
Pretty.
Yeah, it just looks good. And I loved Fallout New Vegas.
I do want to play that really bad.
I loved Fallout New Vegas.
Oh, Caleb, what was that Hell game? I'm gonna play that. Didn't that just come out today? We got a party in Hell.
After party, was that today?
Yeah, after party. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah,
more
that game
shit to
great.
play.
Yep.
Yeah, there's a ton of shit in the backlog.
That's like experience tops though. That's experience. Still.
Yeah, the big thing is my time is getting consumed with getting the house ready for baby number 3 because that is coming fast. Coming fast.
Incoming.
Yeah, I found a stream package today because of my limited time over at my friends at nerdordie.com. Not NerdyBits TV, Nerd or Die. They produce a lot of really badass shit. They put a stream package out that I bought all the After Effects assets to.
Oh, neat.
And I modified. It's the whole it's the whole package, man. It's alerts, everything, and it fits perfectly with the new logo. So I'm modifying all that stuff. Hopefully, roll it out here in a couple weeks. But it feels like it was tailor made for exactly what I'm trying to do with the rebrand of my stream, which is always good.
Does it look completely different than what you're working with now?
Yes.
Okay.
So I don't know if I'll shoot you the new logo, Ben. I don't know if I shot it to you yet in Discord, so you can take a look at it. But yeah, it's very.
I haven't seen the new logo.
Yeah, I showed it to you. Yeah, I showed it to you. It's the one with the pink eye with the white. I'm almost 100% sure I said it. If not, I'll send it to you again.
Again. Who knows?
Yeah,
I probably have seen it.
It's gonna be cool.
It's the one with pink eye.
Yeah, it's the one with pink eye, exactly.
Yeah.
Because my stream is infectious.
Good
Gross.
God. All right.
Other than that,
Is there any shows or like books
Watchmen.
that y'all want to? Yeah, is Watchmen good?
Oh,
fuck, it's good.
I meant to watch that tonight. We got distracted with something else.
Fuck, it's good. I mean, it is deep. I love seeing Regina King in a lead role.
Yeah.
She is badass.
All right.
I heard she's killing it.
Yeah, she is crushing it. I'm excited to see where they take it. Yeah, crushing it. Really excited to see where they take it. They've done a really good job. Jeremy Irons is flawless.
Human?
Yeah.
Flawless human, just overall.
Yeah, he's just perfect in his, just disdain for humanity and his, that character's.
He's Ozymandias, right?
Yeah. His disdain for humanity and just what they should be is phenomenal. I'm excited to see what happens when everybody meets everybody, and to see where it goes because it's teeing him up as the main villain. We may actually get to the way this is all going. By the end of it, a Dr. Manhattan.
Yeah, I wonder how they got that.
Appearance. So we'll see.
If they're smart, they won't blow their load on the first season.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I'm hoping. Yep.
Amateurs. Blow your load twice. First season and third season.
Yep.
Anybody else watching anything or listening to anything or reading anything? They got to share.
I got distracted. We were going to watch Watchmen tonight, and we got distracted with a Choose Your Own Adventure by Markiplier.
What?
It's on YouTube.
What?
It's called A Heist with Markiplier. You watch the trailer, and it ends with, "Do you want to go down the sewer or do you want to shoot it out?" And the two boxes pop up on YouTube. You know, that's saying suggesting your next videos, and one's
Yeah.
go down the sewer and one's shoot it out, and you pick. So we went down in the sewer, and we went down in the sewer, and then we found a cult in the sewer, and there's a red room and a daylight room, and he's like, "Do you want to leave? You want to go figure out what this red light is?" So you pick. We chose about 10 of them, and we got this big nasty ending, and they alluded to, "Well, you want to know the answer to all this, don't you? Well, you gotta try again." And then it said ending 32 of 32. There's 32
Wow.
different endings.
Is this on Netflix?
That's insane.
Fucking YouTube for free.
Yeah, Markiplier's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a similar thing on. Oh, sorry, man. Go ahead.
That's okay. He said he hid clues in every clip. Now, you have to see all the clips to get all the clues, I think, probably, because I don't remember seeing anything. But there are clues in every segment. So Kim and I are going to do a run every night until we figure it out, and with a notepad, and try to figure this shit out.
That's awesome.
That's pretty
It's
awesome.
fucking badass.
Yeah,
And it
it's
felt
incredible.
like the production quality was like top notch, like not AAA, but fucking great. But it did feel like that's a genius idea that almost anybody could do.
Yeah.
You know, with
Well, it's gonna-
some After Effects, you could make your own choose your own adventure. Why not?
Well, the reason I bring it up is because my oldest has been watching. There's Bear Grylls has a series on Netflix where you get into it. He gets himself into a situation. It's like, well, do you want to rappel down the cliff or do you want to try and climb across the canyon? And then you choose, and he walks you through all of the steps to do it. And she's watched the entire first season, yeah, in every way, and it's on Netflix. And she's watching it on her iPad. She's like, I want to watch Bear Grylls do this, and I'm like, I can't get you to go camping because it's icky and gross,
Well, yeah.
right? Or even go out to the ranch, but you'll
Why is
watch
the
Bear
ranch
Grylls
not in your fridge?
do all of this. No, no.
Ryan hung his head and Ben said, "Shut up, Caleb."
The
Sorry, I thought
actual-
it was funny.
Yeah.
The actual
That's awesome.
ranch.
Oh, not the one in Hidden Valley. I got
I
you.
just love Markiplier so much. I just think he's a really cool
Yeah.
guy.
If you love him so much, why don't you marry him?
If I swung that way, I would try.
All
But
right.
no, I just like he's really philanthropic and charming, and he's got a great voice. I don't know, he's a really cool guy. I like him. He just seems like a really solid person. I seriously doubt any dirt's gonna come up on him, ever. It doesn't sound like he's gonna pull a JonTron and say something stupid. Like, I think he's past that. I just think,
Yeah, let's hope.
yeah.
Let's hope, because if not, you just blew him up.
Actually, to put a punctuation point on that point,
You know,
I think-
punctuation point like end sentences, right?
right. To end this sentiment, because he's got this show now, it would be really cool to see him do something, like to see him
Yeah.
backed up and do something like big screen.
Netflix just hired a narrative designer for interactive fiction.
Yep.
On their platform, because
Well, they're doing comics.
what's it called? What was the thing that was Bandersnatch? Bandersnatch was so popular.
Right.
So
So they're doing comic books. So
let's fucking go.
it's
All right.
just a matter of time before we get Netflix games.
All right. So is the fact that you guys added to this chat the Smurf fact from Smurf, or is that just y'all finding goofy shit?
Well, I added a Smurf fact, and Ben added some fact.
Smurf's like in our chat, and I've been trying to message him and get a Smurf fact from him, and he hasn't given us one. So I guess we're gonna run with the one that you sent me. So okay, at the end of every show, we do a little fun.
I sent you one right here in this chat, bro.
Yeah, that's what I was just asking
Okay.
about.
Okay.
We do a fun little segment called Smurf fact, and Smurf has been
It's still on your phone. It's still on your phone, isn't it?
What?
The sound effect is still on your phone.
Yes, it's still on my
It
phone.
is.
Yes, it's still on my phone.
I think it just should stay there permanently
yeah.
Next year.
at this point. He said he gave it.
All right,
Okay.
that's
So
what-
yeah. All right. We're all talking about the same.
All right,
thing.
here's the Smurf fact, guys. I'm gonna play the little ditty first. No.
Yes, we're back to the world is right. The world is right.
The stars have aligned.
6 more weeks of winter.
Now what?
What
It's
are-
not doing anything now. No technology.
Oh boy.
Well, now you really ruined it. Now it's not even fun. Now you just have to do it live.
Fuck it, we're doing it live.
No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Smurfact. Oh yeah.
I was turning up my phone, but I had to turn up my phone while playing the clip for it to actually turn up the volume of the clip.
I hope.
Oh, iOS.
First timers, that was worth it. I hope.
Yeah, so good.
Hey man, because it's a thing. It's an event. And for the last few weeks y'all been
100%.
getting pissy because I've been doing it perfect. And then I fuck it up and you guys are like, "Oh god."
Can you just read the smack?
Yes, I'll read the smack. Ireland. Ireland is typically believed to be the birthplace of Halloween. Unlike St. Patrick's Day, Hallows Eve is dated back to Ireland and the Celts. Ben, is this actual? This is additional. I've been challenged to pronounce these Gaelic names, so don't get pissed. A kindred festival was held at some time of year by the Brittnic
At
Celts.
the same time of year.
Yeah, you can't.
I thought it was just at some time. Whatever.
Whatever.
A kindred festival was held at the same time of year by the Brittnic Celts called Callan Gaif in Wales, Callan Gaif in Cornwall, and Callan Genf in Brittany. A name meaning first day of winter. Supplemental into. Oh, I'm reading the narration. Throughout
Improv masturbation joke.
improv masturbation joke. No. Throughout Ireland and Britain, the household festivities included rituals and games intended to foretell one's future, especially regarding death and marriage. They're both basically the same thing. Apples and nuts were often used in these divination rituals. What's if hopes and wishes were candies and nuts, then every day would be Erta Donk Fest.
We're genetically infused with The Office.
Yeah, The Office is overcome most of our lives. If onlys and justs were candies and nuts every day.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that? So Netflix has been experimenting with the ability to like watch shows at a higher speed than normal.
Yeah, 1.5 or whatever.
Yeah, and somebody put out a thing like, "Good, now you can actually watch The Office 200 more times before it leaves next year."
That's why they did it. Yeah. So apples and nuts were often used in these divination rituals. They included apple bobbing, nut roasting, scrying or mirror gazing, pouring molten lead or egg whites into water. Two wildly different things.
Yeah.
Dream interpretation and others. Special bonfires were lit and there were rituals involving them.
That's what Halloween used to be like.
All right.
It was further down the article. They said bonfires were meant to like replicate the sun, since it was, the later part of the year. The sun was never out, so let's do bonfire.
Yeah.
Keep it light.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Pouring molten lead or egg whites into water. Like, what the fuck? Someone was like,
Choose which one to eat.
It started with egg whites, and then like Crazy Tom was the party planning committee lead for the year and was like, we're gonna do molten lead this year, and everyone was like, what? Why?
I agree. I agree with.
Crucified for a fact 1/4 of the length.
I agree with Almighty Zing though. Tomorrow night when kids hang to the door and they pull out their bags, I'm just gonna crack an egg and dump an egg white in there.
I'm gonna sling egg whites at kids all.
That's not funny. It's terrible. I have a kid that had an egg allergy, and I should not.
Oh,
I should
dude,
not say
no,
that.
not funny.
Like, at all.
If they start crying, just scream tradition in their face.
Tradition.
I'll do it in a very thick Gaelic accent too. It's tradition, you shy little fuck. Get the Christ.
It's
Jesus.
tradition, you shy little fuck. Boy. Well, whale oil beef hooked. Say that fast.
Nah.
Will I be fucked?
Whale oil be fucked. And that's gonna do it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that is gonna actually do it for the show. As always, you can find us on nerdybits.com. You can get all of our stuff there. The listen page is the podcast, read our articles, watch our videos. You can follow nerdybits at nerdy_bits on Twitter and _nerdybits on Instagram. I am Lubwub everywhere it's important. That's everywhere but Facebook, Instagram, Xbox, PlayStation, the good stuff. Ryan, where can people find you?
Sergeant Sodium on Twitter, Xbox, Instagram, and Twitch.
Ben, where are you for people not watching?
What are you pointing to?
My name. That's Sketch Player.
He's
Your
pointing
name's kind of like slightly kiltered. You look like you were just. Do we have? I thought you were going to cut the crotch cam. I wasn't sure.
Yeah, there you go. At Sketch Player everywhere, including Twitch.
And Eric, my friend, where can we find
Hybrid
you?
glass everywhere.
Dope. This has been another episode of Bounty Board. We will be on something eventually online. I think we should all play Call of Duty because Call of Duty would be dope. But thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Those of you who watched, we'll be back next week. Catch you on the flippity flip.
See you later, Warehouse.
Peace.